Okay, so let's take a look at the matchup between Dylan Williams and Brent Williams, coming out of Salvation MMA, taking on Atlantic MMA. I think the keys to victory here for Dylan Williams is, number one, stay active. Brent tends to slow down when there's a lot of chaos. He likes to set up the perfect shot. And this is going to help Dylan with his somewhat mobile, erratic style, where he's jumping in and out. It's going to help him keep Brent Williams off balance so that he can get off his attacks. Then Dylan, you need to set up your kicks. You kick a lot, but you need to set them up so that you do damage. Don't just kick for the sake of kicking. And when there is an opportunity to kick, be the better kicker. In other words, pick a better selection of kicks. Don't just trade back and forth. I think that's what Brent Williams does so well, is he tricks guys into kicking with him. And then when they start, they're standing on one leg. And what does he do? Boom, boom, boom. He lets his hands go. Avoid diving in with your head. I know that you tend to want to put on the display of some wrestling, some judo attacks, but just be careful, because Brent will allow you to take him down. Don't think that you're doing anything spectacular. He'll allow you to take him down just so he can set up his triangle choke that he seems to work so well. Make sure that when you do go in, if you can, get past that guard. Look for counter openings. Brent likes to stand there right in your face. So you're going to have to attack, get offline, and attack again. So don't sit there and try to swing back and forth trying to catch him in the mist. That's what he does so well. If you are there in the box, in the phone booth, in the pocket with him, you need to reset faster, because he likes to return strikes after you throw. Not necessarily because you miss, not necessarily because you land them, but when you throw, he's right there ready to fire back. So you need to make sure that you reset faster and get on a new angle and attack again. As far as Brent Williams go, Brent, you need to box your way into takedowns. You've got great hands. I think you've discovered gold with your hands, and Dylan isn't as comfortable with his hands in the boxing range the way you are. Next, you need to apply your jiu-jitsu rather than wait for the takedown to explore it. I think you need to go for it early. I think you need to just put it out there, force the clinch entry, and take him down to see what happens. I think your jiu-jitsu is probably just as good as your boxing. We haven't seen the real transitions, but I think it's just as good as your boxing, quite possibly. If you're going to stand there in the box, if you're going to fight in that phone booth, then vary your rhythm, break your rhythm, change your angles, and do it well. You seem to like your boxing, so just do more of boxing, have a little bit more variation to what you're doing. Pressure within reason. You like the pressure, but a lot of times I'm noticing you're just pressuring guys to the threshold. And if they can get off first, they can catch you. So make sure you kind of vary that up as well. There's a time you should be pressuring just to keep them on edge. And there's a time you should be pressuring where you're going to really attack. So don't step into perfect range where you catch a shot while you're stepping in. Dylan likes to bounce around a lot, so don't chase him. If you're going to force him out, to make him waste his energy, that's great. Then once he realizes he's losing the fight, you'll force him to stand and fight, which is right up your alley, what you want. If he bounces around, he wastes a lot of energy, and the judges will see that as him escaping, not fighting. And again, that works out to your favor. Test your clinch. As I said, you had a natural aptitude for it. So get inside and let your clinch work for you with the takedown and throwing a lot of strong knees. Then control the movement in a way that you pick up the pace, you slow it down, and cut off the angles. And a good way to do that is just to offer up multiple looks, change up different targets, come at him with different tools. You kind of create organized confusion, just give him a lot of different looks. Between the both of you, I never really see anybody throw hooks. So that might be something that you can add into the mix just to create that organized confusion. But that's what I see in that fight between Dylan Williams versus Brent Williams. It's just a matter of which guy comes to fight that night. And we know that quite possibly Brent suffered a broken nose in his fight back in December of 2020. So is that playing in the back of his mind? Is that something that he's holding dear to his heart and he's not going to try as hard as he could. He's just going to try to eke out a decision. We'll see. February 27th, Fight for It 10. I am Coach Sess, and you've had words with the Mad Coach.